To begin, I'll show you how you can update the database to include machines in your facility. For this example, I will add a Fadal mill machine, so I'll click on the Mill button. Then I'll click on the Machine button. This form shows me the parameters of the first mill machine that is in the database. In case you are unfamiliar with Microsoft Access, these buttons here at the bottom are used to switch between the records in the database. This arrow button takes us to the next record in the database, and arrows with the line next to them will take us to the very last record or the very first record. This is helpful when there are a lot of records. The arrow with the asterisk next to it is used to create a new record. When I click it to add a new machine, you'll see the record number increment by 1, and a new record is started with a clear form. On the General tab, I'll simply type in the specifications for the machine I'm adding, beginning at the top and working my way down. The exact machine I'll use for this example is a Fadal VMC 4020. The machine ID is simply a way for you to identify which machine it is in case you number the machines in your facility. I'll use 1 for this example. I'll use the machine name for the machine description. I'll set this as my default mill machine by checking this box here and select the MT2 access post or controller from the drop-down. For now, I'll leave the machine duties set to light. Everything looks good here, so I'll switch over to the Specifications tab. Keep in mind as I'm entering these settings that they will be the default settings. Some of these settings are simply a reference for future work, but those that affect machining the part can be modified while in CAMWorks itself. For example, unless I use indexing all the time on this machine, then it makes sense for me to leave this set to none by default. And in the cases where I do use indexing, I can change this when I define the machine for that particular part. In fact, I'll leave all of these settings here as they are for now. Notice that there are some values in the section for the machine specifications. These values were automatically added in the form, but do not reflect the actual specs of the machine I'm using. I'll adjust these values for the machine in this example. And I'll change the values for the table travel as well. Under the Turret tab, I can build a tool crib for this machine using the tool crib form. Or I can select from a pre-existing tool crib that has already been set up. Once I get all of the machine information added in the form, I can click Close and the information is saved. Now when I bring a part into SolidWorks, you'll see that the Fadal machine I just set up is the default mill machine.